Hey, it's a Helmet Collector here, and today's video we're doing another unboxing. We have some death cards, some postcards. There's a lot of really interesting stuff here. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. So the first package, seller's name and address and everything was on the front and back, so had to open that up. But this is a very unusual card here, as you can probably tell right off the bat. This is the death card of Sergei Motz. Born on June 12, 1987, who was a soldier in Jaeger Battalion 292, Danoshingen. And he was killed in Afghanistan on April 29th, 2009. So, this came up just through my normal browsing eBay, seeing what death cards have been listed. I found a few sources talking about him online, suggesting that he was the first German soldier killed since World War II. However, none of those were like official news sites or anything like that, so I'm not sure how true that is. But yeah, I'd never seen a death card for the War on Terror before, so that was pretty interesting. I also appreciate the inclusion of the oak leaves there, and then his actual his units insignia. So yeah, just a really unusual and interesting card. I thought it'd be worth picking up. Definitely something I'm going to do more research on and hopefully do a video on eventually. So the next card that we have here, similar situation to the first card, where address is on the front and back of the envelope. And if I move this out of the way, we can see here we have the card of Yakov Gontner, I believe, who was a reservist in the 16th Reserve Infantry Regiment List, 2nd Company. So the List Regiment was actually the regiment that Hitler served with during World War I. I have another card for a member of the List Regiment I did a video on not too long ago. But yes, this is a pretty interesting one. It's very early war. He was killed in Belgium on December 8th, 1914, near Messines. Pronunciation's awful, I apologize. We also have an actual photo that's been added to the card there, not a print. So yeah, just a very unusual card for a very famous unit, so definitely looking forward to doing some more research on that. Moving right along here, this one's just got the customs declaration on it. And it was funny, I went a really long time where nothing was really coming in, and I was like, I should have like a bunch of death cards coming in. And then I got like 5 envelopes in 2 days. A lot of tape on this one, but there we go. All right, let's take a look and see what we got. Okay, this looks like we got a few items in here. These were not on the auction, I don't think, but they do appear to be old photo postcards. It's kind of interesting. Let's see here. Okay. And, all right, there's the end. All right, so the first card that we have here is for Johann and Andreas Opelt. Now, what's interesting here, Johann is Andreas's father, who was killed during World War I on June 24th, 1918, near Verdun. His son, Andreas, would be killed on January 18th, 1942, in Russia. I've seen a handful of these father-son cards before, but I haven't had the chance to pick one up, so I definitely wanted to do that. We appear to have a photo of some kind of war memorial somewhere as one of the death card backings as well. So, pretty interesting card. Definitely looking forward to doing research on that. Let's see. This might be a 6-panel. Ooh, it is. So, we have a 6-panel card here for Heinrich, Ignaz, and Robert Reichardt. So, Heinrich was a member of a Panzer Pioneer Battalion who was killed July 1st, 1942 in the East. Ignaz was a Matrosen Obergefreiter in the Kriegsmarine and would be killed on May 23rd, 1943 in the North Atlantic. And Robert was an Unteroffizier in a Grenadier Regiment who was killed October 3rd, 1943 in Russia. Over the course of a little over, a year and a half, a year and a quarter, all 3 of them would be killed. Definitely an interesting card. Now that I've been checking more on like German eBay, I've been finding a lot more of these rare variant cards, like 6 panels. So definitely going to be more of those in the future as well. So moving on here, I literally was just about to put that on camera and realized that this one also has a stamp with the company name on the back here. It's from a Militaria dealer's website. This is another card, similar to my last unboxing where I had that Brandenburger card that Will had found and pointed out to me. We have this card here for John ML Hogmans, and he was a youth leader in the, I think, Belgian fascist movement. But he was leading a group on the Eastern Front when he was killed on some date, 1942. Yeah, admittedly, this is not a language that it's not like German where I'm able to just kind of know. So yeah, just did a quick look. He was in charge. He was a leader in the Rexist movement, which was a Belgian fascist movement. Now, when this card got listed, I had some reservations because the photo quality did not look right for an original card. However, when I got the seller to send me some close-up photos of like some of the printing here, it looked correct. So I'm just going to take a look under the jeweler loupe at the photo just to verify that there's no issues. They said that the reason it might look a little muddy is because it was from a box that had some water damage. And yeah, this looks fine. Interestingly enough, the dot pattern is actually different than on a German card. It looks correct. And like I can see looking at like the letter printing here, this was definitely printed on an old printing press, definitely not a modern printing method. But instead of having like the rows of dots like you'd see on a German card, these are almost like interlinking squares. Of course, that could also be the ink bleed from the water damage. Very strange. I'm going to have to post a close-up of that one on the forum. But yeah, super unusual card. Definitely one of the few foreign cards in my collection, and one I'm definitely looking forward to doing some proper research on and eventually doing a video on. All right, so moving on here. This will be the last of the... Well, not the last of the death cards, but the last of the mailers here. Yes, so there was a packing slip in there, so I had to cut away for a second. This card was expensive. Frankly, more expensive than I would have wanted, but there was a pretty heated bidding war for it. This is the card of Georg Promhaus, who was a grenadier in a grenadier regiment attached to a Flammenwerfer, or a flamethrower Abteilung, who was killed October 14th, 1942 on the Eastern Front. There's a photo of him there. And the seller actually had done some research, and Georg here was a member of the 100th Infantry Division, and it was actually killed in Stalingrad. So this is a very rare, A, flamethrower card. I've only seen like 2 others, but B, it's tied to actual fighting in Stalingrad, which is very unusual. So yeah, paid a bit of a premium for that one, but I think it's very much worth it. All right, and moving on here. So this is kind of an interesting one. So we have a box here. Somebody had reached out to me. They, I guess their father was a Militaria dealer, and they found a box of some stuff that they didn't realize they had from him. So there were some death cards, a whole bunch of postcards and things as well. So I ended up buying a few of these from him. I bought all the death cards he had and then some postcards as well, which should be pretty interesting. All right, we got some packing peanuts here. Let's see, okay. All right, then we got a paper bag, which should have our items in it, and it does. All right. So yeah, like I said, there's a mix of postcards and, yeah, you can see from his dad, who was a dealer, his old paperwork on it. First thing here on the list, we have a card for Oberfreiter Alois Zaunik, who fell on March 24th, 1914 in St. Dizier during an air raid at the age of 44. And yeah, pretty cool. This is almost like a mailer-sized card, but it doesn't look like it was ever folded to go in an envelope. So kind of an unusual one. Postcards here. We have one that's apparently showing some SS cavalry. Let's see if I can get that out of there. So yeah, SS Cavalry. Really haven't gotten too much into postcards. I like the ones that have, been shipped and have like filled post numbers and things on them. But those don't really tend to come up very often. Yeah, looking at the printing on the back here, though, under a jeweler's loop, that does look period correct. So that's always good to see. Yeah, because these SS type postcards tend to be pretty highly faked, so I always like to check those. All right, very excited to see what else we have in the lot here. We have one. Stuart's. Oh, we have some Junkers Ju-88s. Pretty nice. I have a newspaper cutout death card. I've been seeing these a bit more lately, especially on German eBay, where these are cards that have been, well, essentially their funeral notices published in the paper that have been cut out at some point. This one's for Hans Walter Will, an Unteroffizier and Reserve Officer candidate, who fell in Poland, it looks like. Unfortunately, no date there, though. Is there one on the back of this? No, it does not look like it. So unfortunately, might not be able to find too much on research, but we'll have to see. We also have a card here for Johann Proms, Oberschurmeister, can't remember what that is, in a Jaeger regiment, buried the Iron Cross 2nd class, the War Merit Cross 1st, 2nd class with swords, various other awards, was killed April 26, 1945, after 8 years of service at the age of 30 near Brunn. So kind of crazy. So 8 years of service. So Johann joined the military in 1937, survived the entirety of World War II, only to be killed, less than 2 weeks before the end of the war. It's pretty crazy. So yeah, it looks like there's a little bit of water damage on that one, unfortunately. But nice custom backing there as well. So kind of a fun thing. So I'd seen photos of death cards. I had not seen photos of the postcards. I just said, hey, this is kind of what I'm interested in. Let me know. I'll buy X number. All right, so here we have the card for Hans Kreutzer, a Schütze in a machine gun company, a light machine gun company, born on March 1st, 1921, fell on February 13th, 1942 in the East. Let's see, and then we have a card here for Heinrich Kocherbauer, a soldier in a train battalion, which I've never seen that mentioned before, who fell on July 1st, 1918 in a reserve hospital in Martinschule at the age of 36. So I'm not really sure if a train battalion would be like a logistics, like, moving supplies on trains, if that's like an armored train unit. Not super clear on that. Definitely looking forward to doing research on that one. Moving on here, we have the card of Martin Stolzel, an Obergefreiter Infantry Regiment, buried the Iron Cross 2nd class, the Infantry Assault Badge, veteran of the campaigns in France, Russia, and the Balkans, who was killed June 19th, 1942 in Russia. We have another cutout card here for Fritz Meyer, who fell in Poland on September 12th, 1939. It's a very early war, fell in Kolotzin, at the age of 24. So that one at least has a date on it, so we'll be able to hopefully find some info on him. Next card here is for Otto Gruber, a soldier at a pioneer regiment who, on March 1st, 1945, fell in Königsberg after being heavily wounded. Well, he was heavily wounded on March 1st, died March 12th in a field hospital in Rendsburg. So Königsberg, if I'm remembering correctly, I think it was one of the fortress cities in like East Prussia that got essentially surrounded, and the Red Army just beat it into submission. So he was wounded there. He must have been evacuated by sea then before dying in Rendsburg, I think. Well, I guess I'll find out when I do the research. Let's see. We have Josef Weber von Rinkenhock, who fell on April 24th, 1944, at the age of 16? Or after 16 years of service? I don't think that's 16 years of service. Yeah, no, because that'd be 8 years of true. Yeah, so he died 16. I think that might be one of the youngest ages I've actually seen on a death card. So that's pretty interesting. Moving on here, we have Ludwig Blockinger, who on February 7th, 1943, died in the heavy fighting in the East at the age of 25. Let's see, we have Xavier Muhlbauer, a Confederate and Pioneer company who on February 4th, 1943, in the heavy fighting of the East, died at the age of 29 and a half years. Then we have Georg Josef Mueller, Gefreiter and Grenadier Regiment, born March 19th, 1922, and fell in the East on March 11th, 1944. Kind of a bit of an unusual photo. We seem to have some kind of like flag draped in the background there. It's kind of interesting. All right, now we get to the rest of the postcards here. So we have a Knight's Cross postcard, an old price on there for Oberst Brauer, commander in a Fallschirmjäger regiment. And then we have, a color one actually, for Volksdeutsches Kamerad Schatzhoffer of the Hitler Youth, or the German Youth, February 1942. What is VDA? I don't know that organization off the top of my head, but we have Unserer Luftlandtrupp, W. Wilrich, Hauptmann Delica, also a leader in the Fallschirmjäger, was one of the ones who fought at Fort Eben-Emael. It's pretty interesting. We have another one here. That's cool, the MP40. Oh, the VDA. So this is like the winter relief kind of stuff, right? Or am I thinking of something else? Mine's all over the place today, folks. I apologize. We're getting ready to go on a trip. So yeah, Feldwebel Arpka, leader of a Stoss troop. That's really cool. Oh, this one's actually been mailed. So another nice cross winner, Lieutenant Hans Strelov. And when was this one sent? Looks like a 40-something there. Yeah, pretty cool. Oh, here we go. May 8th, 1944. That's pretty cool. Looking forward to translating that one. General der Luftwaffe Golland. Hauptmann Monchberg, also unused, and Hauptmann Balthazar, also unused. So, by the way, you saw the prices on those. Those are not what I paid. I got a pretty good group rate on the entire lot of cards. Which is pretty cool. So, yeah, overall, pretty interesting haul. So we got some postcards here, some death cards, including a couple of very rare ones, which I'm looking forward to. And yeah, overall, just a really cool unboxing. I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment down below. Love hearing from you guys. Thank you all for watching. Happy collecting, and I'll see you all again very soon.